What's up, YouTube fans? Today we're going to take a look at the Newage Herbie and Vanishing Point, their version of a legend scale Bumblebee and Cliffjumper. As you can already see, these are very small figures. For scale comparison, here is a penny. I mean, this is really tiny. It does fit in with the rest of the Newage collection. I don't have any of them here. I did look at the Newage Scaramanga, their version of Soundwave, but I don't have that with me anymore. That was somebody else's figure. So I'm looking at these. I actually bought these. This is my first purchase of Legends. I know, it's a shocker. But here you go. They are really cool. So let's take a close-up on, we'll start with Herbie here. He's got painted headlights. I believe this is just, no, that's painted. A painted bumper there. You've got metal wheels, which actually come into play a little bit later. There's an accessory that goes with that on Vanishing Point. Got the painted blue windows. Here in the back, you do have that square, which is more accurate to the original toy, but you can change that out if you prefer it, which is amazing. And all around really nice. So let's take a look at that accessory. You can pop this square thing off. That leaves a little hole there. And of course, if you prefer the wheel spare tire look, you can do that. I actually prefer that, so I'm going to leave that there. But that's amazing that they allow you to do that. So overall, pretty good. It does roll. My surface here isn't straight, but he does roll just fine. It's just my surface is messed up. There you go. That's really all the accessories that work in this mode. He does come with his blaster. I don't think it fits here. I don't think it stores anywhere. I've tried a couple places, but I'm pretty sure you're SOL on storage for something this small. But we'll take a look at that more in the robot mode. Now, let's take a look at Vanishing Point. Vanishing Point also has some nice deal. You get the black little spot there. You got the blue windows again. Here's the back. It ends up, his arm joints end up looking like taillights, so that's nice for both of them actually. He has a little circle there. It's obviously not a tire, but just a little design there. Overall, really nice looking. They're both chibi, so they're not, you know, the standard vehicle size. They're chibi scale, so they're kind of squished. This guy, which is amazing, he comes with little skis. They came on this runner, so you had to clip them off the runner with a nipper. But here's those pieces. They're actually all stuck together. And the reason they're stuck together is they're magnetic. This really blew my mind. So these actually have magnets in them. There's two larger ones and two smaller ones. The larger ones are for the back tires. Smaller ones are for the front tires. So you just stick them on there, and they stick on magnetically, which is really amazing for a figure of this size and scale. And here is the other side. And now he can be skiing along just like in the episode, and that's pretty cool. I don't know why I'm so impressed by that, but just I wish some of the Masterpiece would do stuff like this. You know, nice strong magnet to hold stuff on. Anyway, there you go. The other accessories we get don't work in this mode, so we'll take a look at those later. So let's start by getting this guy transformed. So let's get Herbie transformed. Let me back out a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. Pretty fun and relatively simple transformation. Go ahead and open up this back piece here. That'll allow you to pull these side door pieces out. There we go. So fold that back, same on this side. Fold that piece back. And basically clap those together like that. Go ahead and come to here and pull the arms out. You can just pull them straight out. Take these panels and fold them down. Take this, fold that over his back. And again, you can leave the wheel or the square piece, whatever you prefer. Extend this out. You can see where his legs are, and that's going to make his torso. Fold this down, and this is going to basically just sit there. It doesn't peg in or anything, but it just kind of sits like that. So we can kind of see you've already got his upper torso kind of done. Fold the arms down. Make sure you have this oriented the right way. You should have the solid side on the outside. Now we'll work on the legs. Go ahead and separate the legs. Rotate his waist around. Come down here. So this is probably the only tricky part in the entire thing. And when I say tricky, I don't mean like it's really hard. It's just slightly tricky. Go ahead and take this piece here and rotate that down. That'll allow you to take this piece here, open up the trunk, or the hood. I guess it is the trunk on this vehicle. And rotate that downwards. Get this panel in place. So this panel is going to actually fold onto the back of his leg. And now you can fold this panel upwards. Oops. And it is on a ball joint. Sometimes it pops off. You actually want to fold this entire assembly. So where the wheel sits, that's getting up on the bottom, just like the Masterpiece, or the original Masterpiece version. All right, so now you have that straight. Now you can take care of this and fold that down, and it kind of collapses and makes this foot. All right, so same on the other side. Go ahead and open up this panel. Sorry, it's very easy to get disoriented with something this small. It really does kind of get you all confused here. All right, pull this leg to the side, fold this down. You're going to fold this entire assembly up. Actually, before you do that, go ahead and take this panel, get that situated on the back of his leg. Rotate that leg so you have it sideways, and then make sure you're, again, if you're not careful, you can end up just pulling it off that ball joint. So you can kind of push down here, and that'll allow you to fold that in. Close that panel down. Straighten up the legs. And there you have Herbie all transformed up into his robot mode. Really just amazing to look at. And so you get that head sculpt. Pretty good head sculpt. Let's see if we can get any closer. The camera is probably not going to... Oh, there we go. Get a nice detail on the head. Blue eyes. Whitish face. And then you got the horns there. That looks really good. Then down you have... And this is so close. I rarely do camera work this close, but you got the faux canopy there, for his car mode, but that's a second chest. Down you have the feet, which are the front of the car, so that looks normal. Here's the back, relatively clean. It does look a little bit like the Masterpiece version 2.0 of Bumblebee, but a lot cleaner. Not as much kibble and stuff hanging off. It cleans up a little bit nicer than the Masterpiece version. So you do get a lot of articulation. Let's look at that before we look at the accessories. The head rotates on this joint. It can fold all the way up to there. Really, really far articulation. You have a shoulder joint here that goes up and down. You also have this ball joint, so you can fold it up on that joint. So if you want to get it all the way up, you can. Partially for transformation, but also partially for, good articulation on this guy. You have a rotation at the elbow. You have a single joint elbow, gets you 90 degrees, but it also goes backwards. Part of the transformation, but the wrist goes in and out on this joint, and it also rotates, which is crazy. It's on a ball joint, so you can rotate that. Such a small figure has so much going on. You have a rotation at the waist. It rotates all the way around. It also has a double jointed ab crunch. So you have one down here and one up here. So I'll just show you. There's the bottom one, and there's the top one. So you can basically get them folded over completely, which is awesome. I've never seen articulation like that on a Bumblebee. Continuing down, I got his foot oriented wrong here. You have a ball joint on the thigh, so it gets up to there, back to there, up to there. You have a 90-degree bend, not quite at the knee. It's a little bit hindered. The reason is this panel here, so you can kind of knock that panel out and put it to the front. So this is what it looks like if you have it to the front. It just sits on the side of the leg. But then you can get much more articulation. It goes all the way up to there. So that's your choice. I mean, it looks a little ugly there on the front, but you can kind of have it hidden on the back if you want to. You have a ball joint at the foot, so you get pretty much every direction, up, down, left, right, everything you need. So let's take a look at his accessories. So you get this teeny tiny blaster that will fit into his palm there. You also get, amazingly, a jetpack. That's what it looks like. And you do, unfortunately, need to take off the wheel, which to be expected anyway. And that'll reveal that slot where this goes. But thankfully they thought of that. That's really nice. So really good use of engineering, reuse of engineering there. All right, let's move on to Vanishing Point. Here we have Vanishing Point. So for his transformation, very similar to Herbie. Go ahead and fold this panel down. Let me move out a little bit. Once you do that, you are going to take those same side panels and rotate those out. Once you do that, go ahead and take the arms and pull them out of the sides. Again, be gentle. I mean, I haven't had any issues in terms of QC quality. It feels very robust, but I would still be careful because, this is a very small figure with really small joints. All right, so pull those arms down. Once you do that, you can fold these panels inwards. Then you can take this one, and that's going to fit right on top and actually peg together. Go ahead and you can pull this whole thing out. You can pull his legs out as well. Go ahead and take this panel. That's going to fold up and make the front of his faux chest. Really cool. And then get these arms oriented correctly. And you know it's right if you've got the solid part on the outside. You go ahead and separate the legs, and these transform very similar to the other ones, so go ahead and separate there, fold that to the back, open up his hood, and fold that downwards. Make sure you turn this to the side. Oh, let's fix this first. Alright, now we have that panel in place. Go ahead and fold it to the side, and then this is going to rotate up. You might have a better time by pushing here and giving a little bit of movement. This is a tighter joint, so it will pop off that ball joint if you're not careful. Close that up, and then you have the foot kind of configured. Rotate at the waist. I forgot to do that. Same on the other side. Go ahead and take this panel. And again, I mentioned with something this small, I end up getting disoriented very quickly. So sorry if it's disorienting for you. Go ahead and open up this and fold that down. Rotate the leg to the side. Give it a little push here to get it through. Fold that panel down. And straighten up your legs. And there you have Vanishing Point all transformed up into his robot mode. Really amazing. Let's get on the head sculpt. Really well done head sculpt. He's got metallic eyes, which matches the paint on the windshield, but those really look nice. This is probably one of the better head sculpt we've ever had on a Cliffjumper. Probably even better than the X-Transbots Toro. And that's what's amazing about some of these Newage figures is the accuracy is just so darn good. Basically the exact same articulation as Herbie, so I'm not going to go over that again, but I just want to show you it does get all that same stuff. You still have the double jointed ab crunch. The only difference I've noticed is the feet are a little bit bigger. Maybe they're about the same. Yeah, I guess they're exactly the same. So it looked a tiny little bit bigger just in terms of the color, but it is the same. This is all painted surface. Everywhere you see red is painted. I was really amazed and shocked that they painted this whole thing. But it is painted, so you want to be careful with that paint. So Vanishing Point here comes with a bunch of accessories. We already showed the skis in the vehicle mode. He does come with this gun here, his bazooka. So So you can stick that in just like the other guy, and he can hold that. If you want him prone on the ground, you can do that. And thank God his head goes up because you can really do it right. And they gave you the tripod, or I guess the bipod. So this only fits one way, so just make sure you put it on correctly. So it's keyed right there, so make sure you put that key in the right place. And that is just amazing, amazing attention to detail that they did that. Look at that. Crazy. So he can be shooting at Megatron. Now the Newage Megatron is pretty good as well, so you might want to get that too. So final thoughts on Herbie and Vanishing Point. Let's start with the positives. The articulation on these guys is outstanding. Really one of the best I've ever seen on any Bumblebee or Cliffjumper at any scale. It doesn't even matter what scale. Even the Masterpiece scale. Really just outstanding, top-notch articulation. They both have really good paint. They're painted throughout. The red paint and the blue paint is it's all paint. There's no plastic color. The face sculpts on both are really well done. I didn't get to show you a scale, so here's a scale with a penny. They're really tiny. So that's really good. Another positive, they also come with really good accessories. You can choose whether you want the square back or the spare tire or the jetpack, which is really nice. For Cliffjumper here, you can choose in the vehicle mode, if you can choose to put the skis on, or you can choose to have this gun, or you can be prone and using the bipod. Either of those. So really good accessories. Negatives wise, I think it is really expensive for what it is. $75 for 2 Legend Scales figures. A lot of people would balk at that price because $37.50 each for these really tiny things, only slightly bigger than a quarter, right? So that is kind of an issue. I mean, all Legend Scales across the board, especially Newage, are really going up in price. So if you're collecting these, I would say these are the version of Bumblebee and Cliffjumper to have at the Legend scale. I kind of wish they would make these into Masterpiece size, just upscale it and make it, because they're so good that I think they could work. But there are a lot of ball joints, so that might not work at a larger scale. It might be just too heavy with the plastic. But definitely recommend it if you're a Legend scale collector. Highly recommend these. I think they're the best versions of Cliffjumper and Bumblebee we're ever going to see. I do think that I'm not personally going to be collecting Legends. If I was, these would be the 2 I would have in my collection. So that's really it for today. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.